Hi everyone, welcome back. We are now going to talk about evaluating piecewise defined functions. This is not specifically referenced in the text, it's kind of used implicitly, but I wanted to talk about it in a little more detail since this is a common area that people have struggled with in the past. So let's look at the different pieces here. So this is our domain of definition, and notice that tells us which line to use. So a lot of people confuse this with the actual evaluation itself. All we do is when we look at f of negative 2, for example, is we take this negative 2 and see which one of these three inequalities it satisfies. So in this case, it satisfies this inequality right here. And so what that means is that we're going, when we set this equal, what we're going to do is we're going to use this formula over here. So this is going to be negative 2 squared, which gives me a negative 4. So this tells me which line to evaluate. So these things tell me which line, and this tells me what to evaluate. So let's look at another example. I'm going to skip negative 1 because that's kind of special and come back. So let's look at f of 0. So f of 0 satisfies this inequality because 0 is between negative 1 and 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this equation, this expression to evaluate. So we're just going to evaluate x equals 0, which is just 0 in this case. And let's look at the next one, f of 1. Now this one's special too, is because notice that 1 shows up on this line and it shows up on this line. So what we have to pay attention to is where equality occurs. So notice this is less than or equal to 1. This is strictly greater than 1. So this, the 1 is going to be on this line here. So again, this is just going to be x, f of 1 is just going to use that expression there, and we substitute 1 in and we'll get 1. Then we look at f of 2. F of 2 satisfies this inequality here, so we'll use this expression in our evaluation. So we'll use 2 squared, which in this case is 4. And that's pretty much the basics of evaluating. Now, one thing you have to watch out for is this sometimes happens. F of negative 1. Notice that it does not satisfy this line because there is no equality here. It does not satisfy this line because there's no equality here. And it doesn't satisfy this line because, well, x is not greater than 1. So notice that it doesn't satisfy any one of those lines, so this is an undefined value. And with piecewise defined functions, undefined means that basically your value does not satisfy one of these inequalities. So notice that negative 1 didn't satisfy either one of these three inequalities, so there's no line to evaluate, so it is undefined. So that's it for evaluating functions. So next we'll go on to graphing functions. We'll see you then.